Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today we're tackling one of the most persistent, wildly evolving threats in our digital world, phishing. We're going to break down exactly how modern phishing exploits our psychology, how intelligent machines are actually fighting back on our behalf, and kind of terrifyingly, how these scams are now physically entering the real world around us. Now, you might look at your spam folder and think, who is still falling for this stuff? But the honest truth, despite all our advanced firewalls, all that high-end encryption, the human factor is still security's absolute weakest link. It's not really about technical vulnerabilities anymore. It's about human nature, our gullibility, naivete, and the way our brains are quite literally hardwired to react to specific emotional triggers. To really understand how this works, here's our game plan for today. We'll cover 1. Hacking the human mind, 2. The anatomy of a fake, 3. The AI defense, 4. The rise of quishing, and 5. How to protect yourself.
Let's start right at the beginning with part 1, hacking the human mind.
Before a scammer even touches a line of code, they're basically playing the role of an amateur psychologist. It is absolutely staggering to realize that 91%, over 9 out of 10, of all cyber attacks actually kick off with a simple phishing email sent to an unsuspecting victim. Just think about that for a second. We're not talking about brute force password cracking or some highly sophisticated network breach. It's literally just an email, sitting quietly in an inbox, waiting for a human being to make a split-second decision. And this perfectly illustrates how scammers are exploiting human psychology, leaning heavily on Dr. Robert Cialdini's famous principles of influence. When a scammer impersonates your bank or, say, a government agency, they're weaponizing authority to make you just comply without questioning it. When they hit you with a message saying your account will be suspended in 24 hours, boom, that's scarcity, designed to induce panic and force you into a rush decision. They even use the principle of liking for those really insidious hi mom text scams, pretending to be a loved one in a crisis, so your natural empathy completely overrides your suspicion. All right, moving on to part 2, anatomy of a fake. So, once we move past all the psychological manipulation, how do we actually spot the digital fingerprints of a scam? Well, manually acting as a digital detective involves digging into the raw email header. You literally have to trace the received path from the bottom to the top just to find the true originating server. Then you're checking authentication results, stuff like SPF, DKM, and DMARC, which tell you if the email actually came from the domain it claims to. And finally, you have to run a manual IP lookup on the sender's address to see if it matches the organization's real-world location. Here's the catch, though. While these forensic methods are totally helpful, email headers are full of long, incredibly complex technical records. Expecting everyday users to manually parse through raw code, verify MD5 hashes, and run IP lookups for every single suspicious email, that's just completely unrealistic. It is painfully slow and frankly tedious. Which brings us to part 3, the AI defense. Because if we humans are way too slow to check every single header, we desperately need something that can do it in milliseconds. It creates this massive contrast, right? On one hand, you've got a human manually checking IPs and reading through raw text. But on the other hand, we now have machine learning algorithms that instantly classify thousands of emails the very second they hit your mail server. It's like having an invisible, lightning-fast shield. Researchers have trained these AI models to instantly spot the tells of a scammer by looking at some very specific features. For example, the AI checks the exact age of the linked webpage. I mean, if a site claiming to be Bank of America was literally registered yesterday, that is a massive red flag. The models are also scanning for missing SSL certificates, sneaky hidden URL redirections, and links that use a raw IP address instead of a standard legitimate domain name. And the results we're seeing from this AI defense are genuinely remarkable. By utilizing an artificial neural network equipped with a ReLU activation function, which is a specific way the AI processes data, researchers analyzing real-world attacks achieved a massive 94.5% accuracy rate in detecting malicious phishing emails. 94.5%. It's a highly effective automated frontline defense that is neutralizing millions of threats before you even know they exist. Okay, let's jump into part 4, the rise of quishing. Scammers always adapt. Just when you think our digital defenses have the upper hand, we're faced with a brand new threat, and this one is jumping right out of our screens and into the physical world. It's called quishing, or QR code phishing, and it actively exploits the explicit trust we place in our everyday physical environments. Think about it. A QR code is really just a visual representation of a web link, but it's completely unreadable to the human eye until you scan it.
By hiding malicious URLs inside these fraudulent QR codes, attackers can completely bypass all those highly accurate digital email filters we were just talking about. The sequence of this attack is shockingly simple, but man, is it effective. Attackers generate these malicious codes, print them out as physical stickers, and just slap them over legitimate payment points. We're talking parking meters, restaurant tables, or even those shared electric scooters. They're basically tricking users into scanning them out of pure convenience. And the moment you do, it instantly redirects you to a fake website specifically designed to harvest your credit card credentials or your login details. Finally, let's look at part 5, protect yourself. The good news is, we can definitely fight back. Now that we understand the psychology, the underlying tech, and these new physical threats, let's dive into some really practical ways you can protect yourself. ScamWatch lays out some foundational rules here. First off, never, ever click on unexpected links or open surprise attachments. If you get a super urgent message, just bypass the link entirely. Go open your browser and contact the organization directly through their official portal. Also, you've got to keep a close eye out for tiny, sneaky variations in sender IDs. Watch out for a missing letter, a cleverly replaced dot, or some special character that's specifically designed to trick your eye. But hey, if the worst happens and you suspect you've actually been tricked, the absolutely most crucial thing is to act fast. Call your bank immediately. Use the official number on the back of your physical card so you can stop any unauthorized transactions right in their tracks. You should also reach out to national cyber support services like ID Care, who can help you put together a free plan to limit the damage to your identity. So there you have it. We've seen exactly how attackers hack our minds, how machines are fighting them in the digital realm, and how this threat is now literally bleeding out onto the streets. I want to leave you with this final thought to keep your guard up. Next time you're in a rush and you see a super convenient QR code stuck to a parking meter out in the real world, are you going to scan it? Stay curious, stay vigilant, and thanks for joining me on this explainer.